Today is June 22nd, 2026, and I'm going to be going over daily price action on the indices today. So, one second, let's do this. Okay, so first things first, we're going to review my pre-market analysis and see what things I was correct about. Pre-market analysis. High is bullish, weekly CRT in play. Previous week, second stage redistribution, expecting run higher this week. Open low high close with Asia forming low of day. Price took an intermediate term low and formed monthly plus 90-minute sequential S&P along with 15-minute CRT. Asia and London both distributed, expecting 9:30 to do the same. 8 a.m. CRT at high day, potentially going to play out to the hourly low and then reverse off that hourly low. 90-minute accompanied, but may get removed. No news. Overall, going to look for longs today. Would like to see manipulation lower at open. Look for 90-minute micro form. So overall, pre-market, I wanted to see longs play out of one of these 15-minute gaps I mentioned before. So either this low or this gap. Now, there's a few things wrong with that. Number one, overnight has created an unbalanced range, meaning we haven't rebalanced the range one time overnight. Bang, unbalanced, 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 unbalanced. So before we can even validate higher prices, we really do want to see a retracement into discount of the range or true day open. As we can see, true day open is also unmitigated before we go higher, or we at least want to acknowledge it as a possibility. So say if, we create 8 a.m. CRT, like I mentioned here, then maybe we can expect us to run lower first, or we can expect some type of reversal to occur. I did not mention that. Instead, I said I simply wanted longs, and I was incorrect about that. Another thing, as we can see within some of our Q2 lows, we have straight up weak structure here, so low resistance liquidity. This aligns with our idea of seeing lower price action, as we could see this get mitigated. Tap into EQ, this 15-minute gap, form a reversal, and then go. But because this range is so big, we can also contemplate the idea of shorting lower. Now, with that in mind, of lower price action potentially, let's go over how price opened. So immediately, just go here. As we take a look at pre-market, first things first, we want to reference we have no sequentials at S&P at high day. So overall, we do want to see this high day mitigated. Second of all, we have these lows in here with the 15-minute gap. I realize I can draw that all out. I'll draw this out because it does play a role. Now, so we overall want to see potentially a manipulation lower as we are doing pre-market and then a long back to high day. Or at least that was my reasoning. Now it ends up another thing I wanted to see, which was a bit picky. So honestly, these longs were the ones I should have taken. But I wanted to see this hourly low, which was right below the 15-minute gap mitigated, as I said on my pre-market. Honestly, I shouldn't have expected that deep of manipulation. Just this 15-minute gap does suffice, and I did miss a trade because of that, but I'll keep going over that. Okay. Now, market open. We immediately come tag this high. Now, what you're thinking would be correct. Well, now, what the fuck, right? We just left all this low resistance liquidity. I still want to see shorts. Or I want to see shorts play out now. So, you could have shorted off this 1 minute swing. Around here was the setup. I didn't take. It was only for 70 points or something. So I didn't take it, but you could have taken a 15-second short here. But now we are manipulating lower, and we still don't have any sequential S&P at high of day. Plus, we're about to create sequential S&P with low of day. See. Now, continue. Or not low a day, sorry, but just lows. We create micro. Right? We dump down, create micro. There's no 1 minute swing, which kind of sucks. We create 1 minute swing here, just not with NQ. And then we start distributing higher, right? Back to these highs. So this was your first entry. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the 15-second CISD real quick. So honestly, this was the entry I should have taken. I simply wanted to see these lows mitigated, and with us coming so close to it, it was kind of scary looking to take a 15-second CSD entry here. Although we did have a 1 minute swing, making it valid. Now, the 15-second CISD entry was... Let's see. It was actually very bad. There was no 15-second CISD entry. So you entered off displacement, like you saw price starting to displace through this. Let's say you entered around here. Yeah, that's not very good, to be honest. So maybe, yeah, this entry didn't make a lot of sense, but it was there. Also, with our target being today, I wanted to see previous week high mitigated. You could have held to there, but as we'll see soon, that doesn't actually work out. So anyways, right? Drop down at open, create micro 1 minute swing within a 15-minute gap, and we start distributing. Okay, cool. What happens next is kind of weird. So what happens next is we then get a retracement. Retracement all the way back down to the low. We don't actually end up mitigating the low, but we do create an SMT with ES. Not sequential, but just right here, which does end up holding. And now this kind of just confirms that we're having low probability price action at the open here with this move upwards. You can kind of tell as well. But overall, I was not trading this. Sure, you could have entered here, but I was not trading this. So these were more longs overall. And then the 9:30 power of 3 closes and 10 a.m. opens. So right here, I was kind of thinking, okay, what is this? Been accumulation. I was thinking, are we going to have a manipulation? We go lower and engineer liquidity, and then maybe I can get an entry, something like this, where we engineer liquidity, drop, maybe take out this low here, create some type of low time frame swing or CRT, and then go higher to it. That was my overall thinking. And what happens next is we actually do that. But what I failed to see was price creating 4-hour/1 hour CRT, as I will show you here. At these highs, price 10 a.m. open creates 4-hour/1 hour CRT. This had no sequential SMT, but structurally it does make sense, right? So that would mean we are now looking to target these relative equal lows, which would be the 9 a.m. low. Now, if I had recognized that, and that also being in conjunction engineered with the 8 a.m. lows here, if I had recognized that, I could have potentially taken short, but I did not see the 4-hour/1 hour CRT. We have this resup here, and now we're expecting lower prices. We also have 5-minute swing, right? All that good shit supporting it. 15-minute CRT, 5-minute CRT, 1-minute CRT. Right. So all the lower time frame CRTs aligning. We don't have any sequential SMT, but we should still be looking for continuation shorts and go break even here or partial here to at least know we are going to take this out. And if we're getting a short entry in here, we're still getting around 88 points. So it should have been made much more sense to me, but I didn't see it at the time. Your first continuation entry, I would not have taken the smart money reversal. I'll tell you that right now. No sequential S&P present. But your first continuation was right here off the 1 minute SMTF. Your entry would have been around here. I would have entered probably around here, targeting either this, just 4R, or parceling there and leaving a runner to these lows. But I honestly don't really know if I would have taken that or not. What I instead did at that point was, sorry, not at that point. Price continued developing lower till we get some major displacement through this low, and then I'm like, okay. Now at this point, I was confused. I saw this, but we didn't close below, and I just erratically entered longs and closed break even almost immediately. See, right on the next candle, close break even. As we can see, or I just closed the position and then got out there. Just because, what do we not have? We didn't close above this low. We just placed through it. The price is probably just retracing into this 1 minute gap, right? What instead I should have done was entered on this 1 minute gap. That would have been probably the best continuation trade of the day. And your entry would have been pretty nice as well. Being 6 around right here with your 15-second CSD, targeting this CRT low. And that would have played out. Instead, what I did was long, obviously. My next entry came right here. So we get major displacement. Major displacement. Price then mitigates this low here. And we get a little soup here, like that. And then longed at the very top. Went break even almost immediately again, as I was just like, is this really where we're going to reverse? We don't have any lower time frame sequential S&P, no micro, no 5-minute swing, nothing supporting this entry. So I closed break even once again. And then finally, at 12 a.m. or p.m., once we finally stopped, right around here. Oh, sorry, that's 11. Oh, shit. My final entry was, again, right here. I'll just show it on here. Right here. Right, this is the second one, so we continued coming lower, accumulated, had this manipulation, I thought this was manipulation. Took this out. We also took an external range low or internal range low right here out, being our key level. Created 6-hour CRT, or looked like it, right here, as we get our 12 p.m. open on this candle. Took out a key level. I then waited for the 5-minute CSD to actually enter because I wasn't completely sure. And so, yeah, I kind of preferred it there. Looking to target 3R because my stop was all the way at the low, protected. On this, I went break even almost immediately as price just started accumulating around my entry. And it was just entering at 12 o'clock. I don't normally do that. I wanted to see major displacement through my CSD, and I didn't. And I got nervous and just closed it. So overall, bad executions today, but I understand where price went and why it did what it did, so that's going to be about it.